So I think it's time to just finally make a full video about this because I've been answering a lot of DMs about this and answering it in stories here and there, but I think I'm just gonna like put it all in one place and just make a whole video about it and also not worry about how long the video is and editing it and all this stuff. So I'll try to summarize it in the caption, but for those of you who have the time, I'll just do this in one take and just kind of talk about my journey when it comes to my skin. Because if you are new here, a lot of you guys have followed within the last 3 years. But when I first started posting videos in 2021, I had horrible cystic acne, like all over most of the bottom half of my face. It was just truly awful, and I think like part of the reason that I was so nervous to like start posting videos on this app, I started this account as a faceless meme page. I had pretty bad acne since I was like literally a teenager. I think I was 11. I started breaking out. I remember going to the doctor and the doctor prescribed me this stuff that like I put it on and it felt like my face was burning off. It felt like my face was on fire and I said never again. That was kind of like the only time that I tried to like fix it. And I just kind of like lived with it between the ages of like 11 to like 26. There was a brief bit of time where like I cleared it up using this like strict program with like basically acids that would peel off layers of your skin. But I stopped doing that in like 2019, 2020 because I just didn't like the idea of that. So in 2020, basically, because I had to wear a mask at work, working in a kitchen, that's when it got really, really bad. And that's when it really started breaking out horribly. I think part of it was like, obviously, the masks, the sweat, and the oil in the kitchen definitely did not help. But I always knew that there was like a deeper hormonal kind of connection going on, especially because it was only like on my chin and on like here. So yeah, that's where I was at until like 2022. I just want to talk about also just like posting on here because when I started posting in 2021, um, I would like use filters to kind of filter it out. And reels were new, so like everyone was using filters, so it wasn't a big deal to me. Also, I full transparency, like I just thought of this. So I am wearing like a tiny bit of makeup. I just have to like say that because I have it. It's like a tinted moisturizer. So, but you can like you can see through makeup. You can see through light makeup. So I just have like basically one breakout. Nothing. Absolutely, it's 100 times better than what it used to be. Okay, but I thought I'd like say that. But anyway, you can't cake makeup on over what I was dealing with a couple years ago. Filters, and then for some reason in like mid 2022 my account started blowing up. I hit like 30,000 followers in like a year, and that's kind of when my account blew up, and I just was sick of the filters, and I was like, it doesn't feel right hiding behind these filters. So I just kept posting without filters, and that's when I started getting like a lot of hate comments, a lot of people calling me pizza face, but I pushed on and I never took it personally, and I was always like, okay, so you're commenting on my acne and not about my chefing skills or whatever, or about anything that I have to say. So obviously I'm winning here, right? So that's kind of where I was at. And I don't think I ever like hated myself for it. I feel like I always had kind of a positive body image around it. So this is just for anyone who's like still in that phase where they're still dealing with the acne. Like it's not your worth and it's not who you are. And there's so many more interesting things about you than that. So I'm just going to leave that there. Anyway, I need to get to the point of like what I did to fix it. 2022 was a really hard year. I think it was my first year like kind of taking on sous chef responsibilities. Basically what happened that year, or like 2021 to 2022, I put my job before everything else. Like I was in that mode. How old was I? I was like 24 to 25 years old. I wanted to be sous chef. I I had just decided that like, okay, I'm going to fully commit to cooking and I want this. And so literally like my job was like the number one priority over my health, over anything else that I did in my life. And I think you have seasons in life where this is a thing. So like that was the time when like I was covering for the saute cook who quit with no notice. I was also kind of the sous chef, but not because I didn't have the title or the pay or any of that. So I was like unofficial sous chef and like doing all the stuff. And some people try to hate on like my employers for this, but no, like I was doing this to myself. Like I was the one deciding like not to eat breakfast before I went in, or like not eating healthy, you know? Like at some point it's on you, and like it's not your employer's fault. You know what I'm saying? So that's what was going on. I think that's kind of why it flared up a lot, because I wasn't eating right. I wasn't really caring about my health. I don't know, like I think it's a flip just kind of switched at like, it was like when I actually got promoted to sous chef, which was at the end of 2022. It was like, I want to like start eating better, and I want to get labs done, and I want to do all this stuff. I want to invest in my health. I'm going to invest time and money into this. And it was kind of a lot of things over kind of a period of time, like basically in the fall of 2022. Like after that crazy summer of covering saute and doing all that, when I started, okay, drinking raw milk. You can unfollow. 250 people unfollowed me in one day because I talked about raw milk. I literally don't care. You could call it coincidence, but like it all started with the raw milk. And like once I started like looking into raw milk and the other things that like people say that you shouldn't be having, you shouldn't be eating or whatever, like red meat and oysters and like all this stuff, you realize that like, I don't know, it's like the government wants us to be sick. So it all started with the raw milk. From the raw milk, it kind of became like just eating more like nutrient dense foods. Oysters. I started taking like liver supplements and like organ supplements. What else? I generally just started eating better and eating like more nutrient dense foods. Like I would used to come home and eat like chips and ice cream. Like no wonder I was always tired. So instead of the chips and ice cream, like I would try to cook meals on my day off and then make leftovers and eat like chicken and rice, like something healthy. Like you don't need to overcomplicate it. I know it's hard to like actually cook, so that's why it's like thinking about your meal preps and like asking people in your life to like help you. Even like eating a protein rich breakfast like pretty much as soon as I wake up is a huge help. All this stuff. I weighed like less than 115 pounds and I'm like 5'8". So like I just wasn't healthy and my skin showed it. So basically that's, long story short, lots of changes at the, oh yeah, electrolytes too. So I got like lab tests done to figure out like which minerals and electrolytes I was deficient in, and my body like had no sodium and no potassium. So like I was like always thirsty. I was always tired. I was like, I had all these weird symptoms that just kind of went away when I started being healthy. So there was that. If you're still watching and have any more questions, just DM me if you like want more details, but I feel like that's pretty much it. A lot of changes, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you what to eat and what to do, because you need to get labs done. And none of these labs that I did were from the traditional doctor system. They were all like naturopath kind of labs. So I did like a hair test. I did do a blood test, but it was like analyzed by a naturopath kind of person, and then, or a NTPs, certified nutritionist practitioner. I worked with a couple of those. And like if you're thinking, oh, I can't afford that, you get so much value. Like if you go to the doctor, they take a bunch of useless things and then they don't help you and you pay more. So like instead of doing that, go to a naturopath, pay out of pocket, because we all know that insurance like doesn't pay for anything at all. If you don't have any budget at all, like just start eating better and taking care of yourself overall. All that to say, like, I'm sorry if you watched this video thinking it was like a quick fix or a product, or like if I had a discount code for you for a skincare product. I just don't. Like it was changing so many little things kind of all around the same time that my skin truly started to clear up. Not only that, more energy. For some reason, my eyes used to be like always itchy and always burning, and I did not know why. That stopped. No more period cramps. Like literally, I don't get period cramps anymore. I don't. Sometimes, but like it doesn't ruin my day. Like, oh my God, like the list goes on. That's where I'm at, and I don't really know how to end this video, but comment, DM. My DMs are always open. Um, yeah.